Okay, welcome to ETN News. Now this here is hot spots in southern Oregon. I always get straight to the point. That noise you hear behind me is a fan. It's so hot up in here, this room. Okay, we got these here, and I'm going to show you where they're located. They're located around the volcanoes. You can see the volcanoes there. They're from Mount St. Helens over. Let me show you where. Let me go take you to the spot and show you exactly what's there. Okay, here's what we got in this area. And this is Mount St. Helens. You can see it right here. Now Mount St. Helens, this is 1984 of what it looked like. Now I'm going to show you something else. Oh, it went a little too far. Okay, let's go over here a little closer. Mount St. Helens. Alright, now you watch this. This here was rising and still rising. Uplift. This is 84. Watch it all the way up to 2022 and still going. This is Mount St. Helens. The one they say that every time we see something coming from out of the top that looks like smoke, they say it's ash from the last eruption. Now you see what I see. This is Mount St. Helens. Looks like an uplift to me. Ain't no denial there. Okay, let's see how we can see it with this point of view a little closer. Now let's move over to Mount Adams. Well, we got Gifford. Looks like Pinchot National Forest. I don't know how they're pronouncing that. Okay, let's move over here to Mount Adams and check this out. Now Mount Adams. Let's go back to 84. Okay, 1984. You got to look at this stuff or you can't tell what you're looking at. Alright, now you see all this. This outside is green. See all the real green area around it? Okay, let's watch. Mount Adams. Notice how it's filling out. Everything's drying out. It goes all the way up to, let me stop it when it gets there. Okay, here's 2022. And then, there's the last image, 2022. Mount Adams. Now Mount Rainier hasn't changed that much. But we have had a lot of earthquake activity. But this down here, Mount St. Helens and Mount Adams, they're both showing a big change. So those two we need to really watch. That's through time lapse. And Mount St. Helens or Mount Adams, you can't deny because it dries out. And Mount St. Helens, I mean, you can watch it. If you can see that big of an area in space, that is big. I measured it one time on one of my other updates. But as you can see, if they're hollering that it's just ash coming through the air, I think someone's telling a story, don't you? Now let's go check out some more areas. Okay, I have to go back and show this one more time because I had it drawn in close and I was afraid it was blurry on you and you wasn't able to see what was really going on here. Let's look at it one more time. Okay, you can see it, and that was all the way up to the last image that was taken. It is still moving. Mount Adams, you can see how it's drying out around it. All this dries out. That was 2022, last image. And now we're moving down here to Northern California. There's a spot down here, and it's getting heat. A lot of heat coming through that area, and I'm just watching it. Got Willow Creek over here, and Covington Mill, Trinity Center, Coffee Creek. Now let's go down here and look what's down here, and then I'll show you the heat that I'm seeing. I'm not seeing anything significant in the changes on time-lapse. This is on time-lapse. That's the reason it's doing what it's doing. Okay, Sawtooth Mountain, Thompson Peak, Mount Hilton, Canyon Creek Falls, Little Goodnight Peak. Okay, we got quite a bit of stuff around this area. Grizzly Lake. Alright, we got a lot of volcanic in there, and let's go look at the Go16 Live satellite. Okay, here's Northern California. Right here is the area, and see if you can see it from a distance. You can see heat coming across it. And it stays red. Do you see that red right here, this area? And moving on, it stays red. Got a lot of heat coming up out of that. And right before that, let's see, it's on over here somewhere. There's one cloud that comes across that heat, that shows the heat from the surface. I may have already missed that image. But let's go back and look at this one. See if I can draw it in a little closer to you. Don't know if you can see that. Okay, let's move over here and see what we got. Just trying to fix it to where you can see it real good. It's hard to see, but right there. But it is heat. That's all I know. Alright, let's hope nothing's going on with that, because it is volcanic. Okay, first of all, we're going to look at San Francisco. I know this update's going to take a while, but you have to do this to really understand. San Francisco. Now you can see these here, these beams that come across. Now right there's one. It looks like it's trying to heat up. Then it moves one image, and it's heated up. So that held there for a moment before. Now this is the first time I've seen this going on the way they're doing now. They're starting to heat up now and get stronger, like holding the trigger down. But you got all these, and I'm just going to back it up through here. You got all these beams. Right there's one, and they're all over the place now. And I'm starting to see them in other areas. Right there was another one. They just keep going. There was another one, they just keep striking it. And there was one dim. It just keeps going. Alright, now let's go over here and look at what I was talking about. The new major. Okay, now they're reaching all the way over to the new major seismic zone. This here is the new major seismic zone. It goes all the way around. It's a big area. And let's just push play on this to show you that they are starting to come over this way. Right there's one. Let me put it a little faster though. We don't want to take a long time. There's two. But you have to search it slow if you're searching it. There's another one. A little bit south of that one. So we may start seeing more activity around the new major now, since this is going on. And there went one, and it was up north. Okay, let's go check another area. Okay, now this one, like I said, this update's going to be pretty long, but if you're here for safety, then, you know, you want to see it all anyway. What's Yellowstone? This is Yellowstone. This is Wyoming, Idaho, and Montana. The volcano, Yellowstone supervolcano, goes through all three states. Now, just watch. Can't, you know, there's just too many images to just come up and show. Let's look at that one again. That's a pretty good pile right there. Something's heating something up. Alright, let's move on back across these and start where we left off. This is watching the magma flow, and whatever is hot, anything that puts out a large amount of heat, that's going right through Hebgen Lakes up that way. Got a lot of activity coming through there, and a lot of those beams getting brighter and more frequent all the time. So I don't know what's going on there. Got a big hot spot lights up. See how bright that was? And you see that's where the beam has been coming through at. But I don't know. I try to keep an eye on it and see where it comes out at. This would be right on the east side of the lake. Wow, look at that. That don't look right. That's awful hot mist right there coming off of that lake. You can see the difference. Okay, let's go check out something else. And what time I'm waiting, you can see that's not changing on each image. It's still orange looking. I don't know. Just don't look normal. Okay, here's a hot spot out from Hawaii, and that beam going right through Maui, or Maui, or how they pronounce that, right through the area that burnt, you know, here a while back. It's a sad time for the Hawaiian Islands, for everyone, actually, seeing it happen. Okay, now we move up into Alaska. Look what a spot that popped up in Alaska. And let me show you where that's located. Let's go to Google Earth and Lake Clark National Park. Alright, now let's match this up. And this is time lapse. That's the reason that's doing that. That way I can watch and see what's going on in that area while we're checking it. Okay, you see this point coming out. We'll go by that. It's right up in a little angle. Wow, I'm lost. That happens. Okay, it should be right over in here, near that part. But that is cold. Port Ellsworth. Now you can't exactly see exactly where it's at. We can go look at it this way. Alright, we can see right here. Let's see where it's located. It even popped up again. I have to go back. You see that one? Now right before that one was this. You know, we know we got the continents in motion. They're moving. And plates are pushing up against other plates, but that causes large quakes too. So this here is down next to the bottom. So it would be over in here around Port Ellsworth, places like that. That's where it looks like it's coming from. Alright, now we're in Alaska. Now we got this hot spot here, still yet in Alaska. You can see this beam coming down. Let's get it straightened out here. It reset itself after so long. Okay, we're going through the daytime, back to the night. Right there's one beam. Got quite a bit going on. Now it looks like they had doubled up on the power on the beam. Right there. That other one was up across Unimak Island, and now this one just stays still. Oh, you know, it's down below the island. You know, what's going on with this stuff? Okay, now let's check out the earthquakes real quick. And this is out toward this caldera, seamount caldera, and got a 2.2 on that end. So these ain't big quakes. Let's see what we have. 2.5 and greater. Only 2.7. That is 6.6 miles deep, and a 2.5, 21.1 miles deep. It's a big difference on that. Got to watch for the difference on the earthquakes too, because most of these up through here is around the same distance and on how deep they are, and that means that they're down in the chambers. So you got to watch for other earthquakes when they're different, you know, so many miles closer towards the surface. Alright, now this is Alaska. We got a 3.1 on this side, the glacier view of Alaska, southeast of there. Anchorage is right in here. And then we got a 3.0 west-northwest of Clam Gulch, Alaska. 36.5 miles deep. Not much going on up that way. 3.6 south of Sand Point. Now we got 2 down here on the Cascadia. And let's see what we got on small quakes. I'm going to zoom in. It's going to show a white flash. Got to get a little closer on this. Alright, 0.7 Mount St. Helens, Mount Rainier, out from Mount Rainier, northwest from there. And a 0.5 around Mount, it says southeast of Morton, Washington, so it's around Mount St. Helens. It looks like it's on the northeast a little bit. And these 2 out in the ocean, 3.3 west of Bandon, Oregon, 6.2 miles deep, and a 3.3 right beside that one. It's 6.2 miles deep. Blanco fracture zone. It's not a good area. And we don't see any activity other than on these 2 volcanoes. And 2.9 west of Petrolia, California, minus 0.1 miles deep. That's a big difference. That's really close. And you still can see this fault coming down through here. We got Las Vegas in the line of this. If it ever comes on down through here, down this valley, which it's following it like it will, then it'll start hitting around Las Vegas earthquakes. I don't want to see that, but it can happen. And we got a few on Long Valley Caldera, around Tom's Place. And we got this swarm at Little Lake. And let's see where these are scattered out a little bit. Yeah, they're small quakes, but zoom in, they scatter out, so it's not really what you call a swarm right now. This one's around Indian Springs, Nevada. Around Indian Springs and Beatty is where activity's been stopping at. But, you know, this valley right here, it's vulnerable for it to travel on down through there. Now let's go look at this. Around Little Lake, we got a 3.0, 1.4 miles deep. And then the rest of this is aftershocks. This is the Renegade Canyon, you know, and it's not a good area for earthquakes to be hitting either. Anything could come up out of that. Alright, let's go check out back on the map here real quick first. Got a 2.9 northwest of Center, Texas, and 2.0 west of Mentone, Texas. Down here's where they're doing a lot of work. But nothing else over toward the east. And we're expecting something over toward the east. Should be a few 2.5 somewhere a little bigger. I mean, we're expecting something somewhere else. And this is not enough activity to be going on right now. The way everything's going. The plates moving. The tectonic plates is moving. It's just not enough. There should be more. Don't want it, but there should be more. Okay, now we go down here to the La Palmas, La Palma Island. On the fire map, heat map, shows up heat. We've been following this one area since the eruption. It'll heat up, and then it'll cool down. And then all of this will heat up, and it'll cool down. Right now, it's just one spot heated up. You can see the imprint of where I always show. That shows us where we're at. This is a fissure. Used to be a fissure, and I think it turned into a volcano. You know, a small volcano. But anyway, it heats up from time to time. We got to watch for that to heat up. You know, to make sure everyone's safe under that. Here's our anomalies. Got it here, and here, and here. Okay, nothing going on in Hawaii. This island here, let's see what's on this island. Okay, that's nothing to worry about there either. Just going around looking at the map. The fire map, the heat. This is Africa. And if you follow my channel, this moved down here, stayed clear up through here for months, and then it moved back. Now this is clearing out. And, you know, all this is not fires. If it was, there'd be nothing on the planet. It would all be burnt. Because it shows up in different places. Alright, I'll see you on the next updates. Everybody stay safe. And we'll be watching.